To the Middle East now, where Israeli media reports say the country's Defense Minister Israel Katz has approved the military's plan to take over Gaza City. Aid groups fear a new offensive will only deepen the already desperate humanitarian situation. Meanwhile, mediators are awaiting Israel's official response to a new ceasefire proposal put forward by Egypt and Qatar. Hamas has already accepted the proposal, which reportedly includes a 60-day ceasefire and a phased release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners.
After more than 22 months of war, the Gaza Strip is in ruins. Israel is continuing its airstrikes, saying it's targeting Hamas fighters. But on the ground, civilians continue to bear the brunt. Amid the devastation, some still dare to hope that this could be a turning point and that a ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel could soon be in reach.
As a Palestinian living in Gaza, displaced and grieving like so many, I expect a positive response from Israel because it wants an end to this conflict. And Hamas responded positively yesterday, so God willing, Israel will respond the same way today.
But others are less optimistic. Even if there is a temporary ceasefire, some believe that Israel has a different agenda.
I think there's a good chance Israel will respond positively, but that won't end the war because it still wants to destroy Gaza.
Meanwhile, in Israel, reactions to a potential deal with Hamas are also mixed, shaped by nearly 2 years of trauma, loss, and uncertainty.
As a soldier, someone who served in combat and spent 15 years in the reserves, if I were taken hostage, I would never want to be exchanged for even a single terrorist, not a single one.
While some Israelis oppose any deal with militants, others say the suffering on both sides has gone on long enough, and it's time to stop the bloodshed.
We have 50 hostages in the Gaza Strip. We hope that 20 or more are alive. All we want is a ceasefire, stop the war, bring the hostages back. Every deal with Hamas, doesn't matter what's the price, we have to bring them back ASAP.
As Israelis wait anxiously to see whether their government will accept a deal that could finally bring the hostages home, people in Gaza are also waiting and hoping that a deal will be reached to stop the bombing and bring some relief.
For more on the latest developments in Israel and Gaza, I'm joined now by DW's Felix Tamzut. Felix, we're hearing that the Israeli Defense Minister has approved the plan to take over Gaza City. Tell us what this means both militarily and politically.
First of all, Anya, we are talking about a situation where the IDF says it had already taken over 75% of the Gaza Strip. Gaza City is one of the only areas where the IDF has not operated yet in terms of boots on the ground. The Israeli Defense Ministry says it has already enlisted 50,000 reservists to the army, and it's very important to remember such an operation would mean hundreds of thousands of Palestinians being displaced once again, which is bound to have an effect on the already dire humanitarian situation in Gaza.
Felix, you mentioned this number, 50,000 reservists have been would be drafted. How is the Israeli public reacting to this?
That's a very good question. We are talking about a very, very heated debate within Israel nowadays when it comes to the enlistment of reservists. In the background of the expected Israeli operation in Gaza City, we have to remember that the debate in Israeli society when it comes to the army service of the ultra-Orthodox community has been raging over the past weeks. There isn't a solution. There hasn't been a solution when it comes to the government, the Israeli government and the ultra-Orthodox parts of it. And many reservists serving some 400 days in the past 2 years. This is a very, very heated debate in the Israeli society, and the upcoming operation of the Israeli army is only bound to make this debate even more heated than before.
There is a potential ceasefire deal on the table. Given that Israel is planning to mobilize so many more soldiers, what does this mean for a ceasefire deal?
Well, first of all, the deal on the table is a partial deal. As mentioned, we are talking about a 60-day ceasefire and the release of some Israeli hostages, some dead, some alive, and the release of a certain number of Palestinian prisoners from the Israeli prisons. Whereas we are talking about a situation where a permanent ceasefire, as in the end of the war, that should be negotiated while the ceasefire is in place. This remains to be seen whether Israel is going to agree to this offer. Unlike its position before, Israel is now saying it would like to have a full-scale deal which would include all of the Israeli hostages and the end of the war, as well as other conditions, whereas Hamas has agreed to a partial deal, and it remains to be seen whether Israel would go ahead with the offer that had been agreed by Hamas.
DW's Felix Tamzut in Jerusalem. Felix, thank you.